I remember standing on Grand River Avenue at Michigan State University with my mother, and we had just finished my college tour. It was a metaphorical fork in the road. I didn't realize that my first life cycle was coming to an end. And as I picked the hair out of my freshly chapped lips and lipsticks, I turned to my mother and I answered the question that she had just asked me. Do you want to go to Michigan State University and be a therapist and a conductor and a musician and get married to whom you're with and all of the things? Or do you want to travel Europe and become a massage therapist? Both my dreams. Flip of the coin, which is how I make most of my awesome decisions in life. And I chose Michigan State. I'd made my choice. The universe slaps that chapter shut, and off I go on my next journey. Now, it is Welcome Week 1996 at Michigan State University. I am discovering myself in tons of new ways. Shows, campus events, fraternities, sororities, parties, new groups, new sites, and one of my first stops on this journey is a place called Triple Goddess Bookstore. Looks just how it sounds. It's full of crystals and shit, tarot cards, black cat in the window, of course. My soul lights up. I'm like, I should be here. This is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm looking around at all the things and I see what tarot cards. What are tarot cards? And out walks this goddess. This blonde, curly-haired, Harry-Carey glasses, all in black, of course, goddess. She's like, how can I help you? I want my tarot cards read. She takes me into a private room, hits play record on the tape recorder. I still have this tape in my Walkman at home. I'm dating myself. And she flips the first card, and it's the Fool, and I'm a little pissed, because what are you calling me? Bitch. And so she says, no, the Fool is the best card you can have. It's your new journey. It's your adventure. Now, if you know anything about tarot, you know that the Fool is standing on the edge of a cliff. He's got one foot on the cliff, he's got one foot off, he's got a big smile on his face, not a care in the world, with his knapsack. He's ready to just take the adventure, knowing he has faith that the divine will just carry him through. So my life started to change with the flip of that card. And I had many journeys on this life cycle, and one of them I met in August of '97. I walked into a theater show for students, and on stage walks, we'll call him Nick. This man is a powerhouse of an actor, a god amongst thespians. He's amazing on stage, and he is sexy as hell. And I'm enamored. Enamored. We had a few chance interactions. I hung out at his house once briefly, and my heart sank at the last final theater party, and he's there with someone else. We didn't have any socials back then. It's 1996. We didn't exchange numbers, so poof, he was out of my life, gone. Come to find out, we'd led our separate lives. He was married, divorced, you know, kids. I had married, divorced, cats. We both traveled, we had our lives. And then my mom got sick, really sick, like terminally ill sick. And on July 11th, 2011, at 3 a.m., I created a Facebook. And I tagged and friended 100,000 people, telling them, Mom's sick, I'm coming home. This is what's up. And I got responses and responses and responses, and one of them was Nick. Connections were made, you know, and once a year, maybe we'd chit-chat. So through his divorce and after my mom passed, we had our first real conversation since school. Now, since 1997, I had thought about Nick 84,642,911 times roughly a day. And after that conversation, kind of felt like maybe he was too. Fast forward to Cinco de Mayo of 2023. I never answer my Facebook messages. I'm quite famous for it. But I saw one from him, and all googly-eyed and starry-eyed, I casually answered, "Hey." And I opened it, and it reads, "You're my favorite person on Facebook. You're so funny. Your memes are hilarious. You helped me through this. My dad passed. Your mom passed. Bond. If you need me, let me know." That is so thoughtful. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. I type back. We talk a little bit. The next day, I'm still feeling the residuals. "Man, thanks again. That was really so awesome. How's your day?" How's your day? How's your day? So a couple of texts later, we had a day. And then the next day, I was like, eating pizza at the yard, you know, he's doing his thing, more texts. The next day is hundreds of texts. The next day is 400 texts. And now we're at thousands and thousands of texts a day, and I'm thrilled. And so I get the text about a month or two after that that says, "Is something happening here? Between us, is something happening here?" I panic. I freeze. And I remember that fool card with his foot off the cliff and the smile on his face, just knowing that he's gonna be all right. Fuck it. "Well, that's crazy because I've been in love with you since 1998. Send." Panic ensues, standing there shaking. And I get the text back, "Wait, what?" Those were jokes. Oh my God, ha ha, laugh. I was kidding. That was a joke. And he says, "You remember that convo we had? I've kind of been in love with you since then too." I stopped breathing. Holy shit balls, it's happening. Oh my God, it's happening, it's real. So we exchange I love yous. And we talk and talk and talk and pics and texts. And I buy a ticket to Chicago. And I leap into this man's arms after 25 years. And it's like I found my soulmate. This is it. We part ways. I come back in September, same thing. I come back in January for a quick weekend just to wrap up loose ends before I move here in March. 1 year and 10 days ago today. Now, I thought it would be bliss. I thought it would be magical and love, and it was not. It was the opposite. It was terrible. It was fighting. It was sleepless nights alone. It was exchanges of anger and glaring and mishmash. What happened? What's going on here? This can't be. So, beans were spilled, secrets revealed, authenticity shined through. And in my authenticity, I finally discovered myself, my worth, my boundaries, and my voice, which is what this cycle's all about for me, assertiveness. Now, if you asked every boyfriend in the past, they were like, "Yeah, she stayed with me for years. She paid with my therapy. She helped me out. I can't do that this time. I left." And it was hard. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done. And I thought we'd failed. He was a product of his environment, and because I was a product of my environment, I allowed it. Now, you can see it as a failure, and you can see it as destroying us. I couch surfed for a couple months. You know, it's hard to look back and know that the love of your life is the lesson, the greatest lesson, the big lesson. And we just jacked it all up. Or did we? Because we've grown a lot in the past 7 months. Healing, therapy, friends, family, all picking us up. So we've had dinner last week, Nick and I. And we reassessed where we are and who we are now. Is there a chance to save us? Is there hope that we will honor our true selves and drop this matrix facade bullshit that we've created and that no longer serves us? And can we recognize the people that we were meant to be together? We belong together. We just do. I think we might. I think we will. I think we belong together, but more importantly, I figured out I belong to myself. And through him, and through Michigan State, and through all of those lessons, I'm finding out exactly where I belong. And it's on this stage telling my first story in 9,643,000 days. Thank you.